Hey guys, how you doing? This is County Collections, and I'm coming back to you with another video on copper pennies. And so the question I wanted to address today was, why save copper pennies? Why hoard them? Why keep them as an investment? And so I really just wanted to cover the basics on, what copper pennies are and why people save them. And so a copper penny is a penny that is pre-1982. So any year before 1982 were copper pennies. And now in 1982, this was a transitional year where they started using zinc instead of copper as the primary metal in pennies. And so in 1982, you have both copper and zinc pennies. And so this was when the change happened. So before, you have copper pennies, after zinc, and you really can tell the difference almost in their look. Copper's darker, zinc is lighter, and that's just generally how it goes. So the copper pennies are 95% copper and 5% zinc, and then the later are almost all zinc and just a very slight mix of other metals. And so the reason people save these is right now a copper penny is at about 2 cents per penny. And so what that means is the copper value inside of the penny is about 2 cents, whereas its face value, the value given to it by the government, is 1 cent. So that's why people save them. You can search through them in boxes and find them for free, and you could keep them, and it never loses its value. It's not like you're taking money out to find these, because it's still worth what it is, because you can take it into the bank and they'll give you money right back for it, because it's just obviously a different type of money. And so that's the reason people save this, because there's no risk involved. The reason why so many people are beginning to do this is because they're afraid of inflation, and they're afraid of our government because it's so unstable, and the dollar is backed by nothing. And instead, copper pennies, they have intrinsic value. They are valuable in and of themselves. And that's why people collect copper pennies the same as they do silver or gold, because of the value that they have in and of themselves. And so if the dollar were to devalue and inflation were to come in, the copper in pennies, as well as silver and gold, all of that is going to rise. And so a really great way to begin saving your copper pennies is not necessarily by going out and getting $25 in pennies from the bank, while you still can't do that. Another great way is just looking through your change on a day-to-day basis. If you use cash, you can get change back and start adding up those pennies that you get and setting those aside, because those all add up, and those all play a part in storing copper pennies. But if you do decide to go through and maybe even get a machine, or go through and get boxes and sort them out by hand, they really can start to add up. This right here is 25 pounds in copper pennies, and I have several of these just from doing it by hand, and you really can start to add up quite a bit of copper by doing this, and it is enjoyable. You find wheat pennies, and you find multiple other things while you do this. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this cleared up some of the questions or some of the information you were wanting to know about copper pennies and what they are and why it is important to save them. And so I would challenge you to begin doing this yourself and start saving them up and see where it can take you. Thanks guys.